CoasterPhobia, the fear of roller coasters. That is a huge part of just people not wanting to ride them. People always checking out because they think the worst thing will happen. And roller coasters are actually so much more safe than you think. And some people are also just scared of the coaster itself. Now, the coaster itself isn't that scary once you go on it. So, this series is about who will win for each category of phobia. So, we're going to be deciding what are the top roller coasters to be like the winners of this episode, which is just the overall scariest roller coaster. Who takes the cake here? And, I don't know, but Wild Mouse at Cedar Point might take it. The way that thing takes its turns, I feel like I'm going to fly off, and it's just thrilling at most. Alright, so now keeping it real, just roller coasters overall, you're going to be scared. Like, the real roller coasters, not like any family roller coasters. You'll notice that if you like roller coasters and you want to go on top tier ones, they'll most definitely be scary. Because why else would people rate them so good if it's not thrilling or big drop, fast launch, or crazy elements that you would probably be scared of? That's almost like it's the whole point. And I already think I have a suspect for this one, which is X2, who will be taking the cake for this one. I mean, X2 just has to be the scariest roller coaster, so that's why we're going to be talking about it. And a lot of you probably think, oh, what about like Falcon's Flight? What about that 500-foot drop? Well, I think the X2 still is just scarier because at the end of the day, Falcon's Flight is just really fast and tall, and that's only bad if you have the fear of heights. Maybe next episode? No spoilers, though. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about X2 for this episode, which pretty underrated coaster, too. I haven't heard that much from people about X2 because it's not really the type of roller coaster you would think about first. So let's get into it. I'm done yapping. Alright, so X2 is obviously a roller coaster located at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California. But X2 isn't just another roller coaster that's just normal. It's a fourth dimension roller coaster. So, if some of you guys know Gatekeeper at Cedar Point, it's like that. But also, the seats are flipping upside down. Now, imagine just riding a normal roller coaster. Imagine if you're flipping on a huge roller coaster like X2, one going nearly 80 miles per hour. That's X2. Instead of staying upright like most roller coasters, your seat rotates independently from the track. Sometimes you're staring straight at the ground, and sometimes you're staring straight at the sky, and sometimes you have absolutely no idea what's happening. That's probably most of the time. Even experienced coaster enthusiasts say X2 feels completely different from anything else they've ridden. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, why is it called X2? Well, because it wasn't always called that. When it first opened in 2002, it was simply just called X. At the time, it was one of the most ambitious roller coasters ever built. No one had ever attempted to ride this complicated before. The engineering behind it was incredible, but it came with a price. The ride experienced frequent breakdowns, maintenance was difficult, downtime became common. Although guests loved how insane the ride was, the park struggled to keep it operating consistently. Eventually, Six Flags decided something had to change and closed the coaster for major renovations. And it reopened in 2008, luckily. It had a new name, X2. The trains were redesigned. The ride system was improved, a soundtrack was added, flamethrowers were installed, and the experience became even more intense. X2 is scary because, first off, you're going over 200 feet in the air, and unlike most roller coasters, you're sitting to the side of the track, so you're already feeling exposed before the ride even starts. Then, you reach the top. Instead of simply dropping, your seat rotates instead. You're suddenly facing straight toward the ground. Imagine how scary that would feel. Then you have to go up a hill, then just straight down. Then the gravity takes over. And you plunge nearly 215 feet at close to 80 miles per hour. The ride doesn't even give you a chance to recover. Every few seconds, your seat flips into another position. One moment you're lying on your back, the next moment you're diving headfirst, then you're spinning again. Because the seat rotation is very carefully programmed, every element feels completely unexpected. But at the end of the day, at the end of the ride too, you'll end up loving it, I promise. Even though this coaster can seem pretty good to some of people, but X3 just isn't perfect. Sorry, I said X3, I meant X2. It is known for having quite few issues. Because the trains are incredibly complicated, maintenance is obviously extremely demanding. And one part of the rotation system isn't working correctly, the ride may not be able to operate. That's one reason X2 has earned a reputation for frequent downtime. Some riders also describe parts of the experience as rough. The spinning could create sudden movements that aren't as smooth as modern roller coasters. For some people, that's part of the thrill. For others, it's enough to make them swear they'll never ride it again. So, is X2 actually worth riding? If you enjoy intense roller coasters and want something unlike anything else in the world, absolutely. There are faster roller coasters, there are taller roller coasters. But when will you see another roller coaster like this? Every flip catches you off guard. Every drop feels different. And when the ride finally comes to an end, you'll probably need a minute to just process what happened. That's why so many coaster fans consider X2 as one of the greatest thrill rides ever built. And one of the most thrilling rides ever built. But thank you for tuning into this episode of CoasterPhobia. Not that, I meant phobias, fears, or whatever it's called. I don't even remember what the name of my own series is, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully I don't get banned again, but stay blessed, follow me, and yeah, see you guys next time.